So I realized from talking to different people that there are a lot of movies out there, old and recent, that just flew under the radar, whether it was because the theaters were closed or because they weren't marketed well or whatever. But the other day I was on Amazon Prime and I ran across Love and Monsters, and after watching it for the third time, I was like, man, this is one of those slept on movies. So today I'm starting to rewatch Wednesday, where I'm gonna go back and introduce y'all to movies that I think were slept on. So Love and Monsters is, just like the title says, it's about love and monsters. No, but to get a little deeper, it's a movie about the world being in a post-apocalyptic state, and like because of our personal actions as humans, we've mutated insects and reptiles to the point that some of them are as large as humans, and some of them are big enough to take down tanks and whole military bases. Now, in this chaotic world, some people have survived by going underground into bunkers and caves and things of that nature, and it's just basically that. We're not at the top of the food chain no more, we're just trying to survive. And the story surrounds this guy who's alone, figuratively speaking, because he's in a bunker with other people, but everyone in this bunker has someone except him. Him and his love were separated right at the start of all this crisis, so he embarks on an 80-mile journey to get to her bunker. That's all I really want to say about the story, because I think the story does a really good job explaining how all this happened, and I don't want to spoil that for you. It's kind of like, it reminds you of Zombieland, when they explain the rules in a very light-hearted, comical way. Well, he does the same when they introduce the monsters to us, and he's out in the world, and how everything happened, and just all the nuances of this new world. They're explained in a very comical, lighthearted way that I thought was fun for the movie. To get into the acting of this movie, I'm really only going to speak about the main character, which is Dylan O'Brien. I know him as Styles from Teen Wolf. You may know him from Maze Runner or American Assassin, but the guy got some pretty good acting chops. He's on the up and up, in my opinion. Now, in this movie, he is no different. He really delivers. He's a charismatic guy, and when he gets on screen, like, you instantly like him and you feel like he's relatable. And even though he's the one embarking on this journey, he's not really the survivalist type. You get to see him learning as he goes, and you get to see true character development to the point at the end he's a pretty capable guy. And they don't do it in a way where he goes from being this klutz to being a badass. He's still himself at the end, but he's more aware of his surroundings and more acclimated to the world, I guess you could say. The other character I'm going to talk about in this movie is Boy, which is played by a dog. And yes, I said a dog. When I finished watching this, I drew a parallel between this and I Am Legend, because Dylan O'Brien and his dog are going on this epic journey. They have to face all these perilous different tasks on their way, just like Will Smith and Sam in I Am Legend. But it was done in a more lighthearted way, and I liked both. Neither was better than the other, in my opinion, but I just drew that parallel between the two movies. But Boy was incredible. Whoever trained him did an amazing job. His on-screen bond with the main character, Dylan O'Brien, was really believable, and you found yourself, when they were in perilous moments, you know, on the edge of your seat. So I gotta say that Dylan O'Brien and Boy definitely carried this movie. So I want to tie the pacing and the visuals together. I mean, they go hand in hand with most movies, but more so in this one. I think the pacing was incredibly enjoyable, because it goes from being informative in the beginning, catching you up to speed on what happened, to transitioning to him going out into the real world and actually seeing the effects of it firsthand. And I think this movie does a good job letting you know, before he gets out into the world, how perilous the world is and how very few are even capable of going out. And once he gets out, you get to see exactly why, because not only can almost everything in the world kill you, it's actually trying to kill you. And that ties into the visuals. You get to see these mutated insects and monsters, lizards or whatever, and I guess you say monsters because they're huge and they have small mutations, but you always kind of got an idea of what it is that you're looking at. You don't have to guess, like, what's that? You look at it and you're like, oh, that's an X and an O. Don't want to spoil what they show in the movie, because that was part of the entertainment too. But overall, Love and Monsters is a fun watch. It has spectacular acting from Dylan O'Brien and Boy the dog. I mean, there's other people in there. He runs into some survivalists who help train him, but even though they were good, they were replaceable. So Dylan and the dog made the acting phenomenal. The visuals of the movie, like seeing the monsters and the mutations, was great. The pacing was exciting throughout the whole movie. And it was a fun, happy, light take on a very scary scenario. And I think it worked. So with all that being said, I'd have to say Love and Monsters is movie magic must see. Alright, so that's it for the first Rewatch Wednesday. And for the comment combo today, I want y'all to tell me a movie that y'all think was slept on. Maybe I can go check it out and review it for others to catch up to speed. Whatever it is, comment below and let me know. Now, as always, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.